I'm Ryan Aber from News OK, here with the Astros Director of Player Development, Fred Nelson. Fred, the Astros minor league system has certainly taken some hits in recent years, but y'all have made progress to building it back up. What's been the philosophy of the Astros in player development the last few years?
Well, Ryan, I think one thing that happened when Ed Wade came in is he just made a tremendous commitment to scouting and player development, not only from his standpoint, but also back to Drayton McClain, the owner. And our past 3 drafts have been outstanding. We've signed players. We've been able to spend the money to get the best players available. And so we're involved in a process of getting our young players passing through the system. I just came from Instructional League and is really pleased to see the good young players. And I've actually been out of that loop. I've been handling our professional scouting program, so I've spent most of my time in the last 4 or 5 years in the big leagues. And for me to put my eyes on the young players that I've heard our people talk about is really rewarding. And I think our task is, in my role as Director of Player Development, is here in Oklahoma City to try and blend our young kids that are coming in. And as you know, I think we've had maybe 10 or 12 rookie players play for us in the big leagues this year, and we've had a heck of a run in the second half, and we've had an opportunity to see them play. Logically, probably all of that group will not be in the big leagues next year, so we would like to see and hope that maybe there'll be some people come back here that'll give us some sort of a base, and then be in a position to go ahead and fill with good TripleA quality players that not only can perform here, but Ryan, if we get in a situation where we have the injuries in the big leagues, they're quality players that can go to the big leagues and help us there.
So you think this is a situation where we start seeing the fruits of that at AAA next year?
Well, I think there'll be some guys starting to come from AA and compete for jobs in spring training. And obviously they have to make the team and they have to play well enough. But even if they don't, I think we're in the process to where it'll be an ongoing thing, and before long you'll start to see them filter in and start to find a place here in AAA.
And I know you feel good about the coaches you have at the AAA level, looking for a manager. What kind of things are you, attributes are you looking for in that position, and what's the timetable?
Well, the timetable is going to depend a little bit on people availability, and I won't talk about any names because really some of the guys that we've targeted or I've targeted are guys that are under contract at other clubs, so we can't do anything with that. We'd have to go through proper channels. But you know, as much as anything, I think there are a lot of good baseball people out there, and we're going to look for somebody who's a good baseball person, somebody that can teach. I know one thing coming back from Brad Mills in the big leagues is that we want our people to be teachers, not just X's and O guys, but people that can teach and continue to help develop the players. We don't think it's an end product, certainly when it gets here, nor is it in the big leagues. And one thing I've been very impressed about with our big league staff is their ability to do that. And I think, we see the benefits of that with them taking a young core group of guys that with no major league experience and continue to work with them, and we've seen progress. And then the other thing is I'm big. I spent 10 years in this role years ago, and just the community involvement. I think it's important not only for the development of the manager to get involved in the community and do what we can to help Mandalay baseball and the RedHawks, but also same thing for the players, to get out and be with kids and to take the time to be in the community in whatever role, whether or not it's a speaking engagement or visiting a hospital or going to schools. It helps their development. Being in a position to where they can get involved in the community is really part of life and the life cycle, and that's something that I'll look for in a manager, somebody who understands that and is willing to do that and accept that responsibility.
Well, Fred, thanks for joining us.
Thanks so much.
Thank you, and check us out every day at newsok.com for the best RedHawks coverage anywhere.